Did you like the Defenders?
I don't think we've started recording to really discuss that.
Well, little do you know, we have started recording. Welcome to class.
Oh.
Hello and welcome to Marvel Cinematic University. I am your host and Professor Alix, and with me, as always, is the worst student ever, doing something weird with his hand, Jacob. He's got a whole thing of iced tea. He's ready to spill the tea. He's spilling the tea in a very quiet way that makes me wonder what is happening and what this bit is. He's sipping the tea, and I'm starting to question if there's alcohol in that or not.
There's not. It is this thing. I didn't know they actually made these. It's actually a non-alcoholic flavored beverage.
That's crazy. Those exist?
Apparently.
Interesting. I never would have guessed.
Yeah, no, unless the alcohol content's not on here somewhere, but
I mean, that's possible too.
That's illegal.
Well, this is Marvel Cinematic University, where each and every week, I punch my mic there, I teach something to Jake about the Marvel Cinematic Universe that he probably didn't know, and he probably still doesn't, and he's still sipping his tea.
I'll be sipping that tea for some time. Well, I spilled the tea about the Defenders.
Well, there's not much to spill. They suck. They make questionable life choices.
They ain't no Avengers, but...
Well... That's the funny thing is they were supposed. This was Netflix's Avengers.
It's like you go to CVS and you can't afford the real prescription medicine, so you have to get the knockoff version, but it doesn't quite work right.
This is the Great Value Avengers.
Yeah, couple extra symptoms.
like Rand.
Yeah, it's a symptom for sure.
You get a little bit of Danny Rand. I think my Jessica Jones is burning.
Well,
I just got a classic case of the Murdoch.
The Murdoch.
I feel like I'm in a Luke Cage.
Get locked up in a cage. A Luke Cage.
Yeah, we watched the Well, you watched the Defenders this week.
Not bad.
I watched Futurama because I couldn't bring myself to watch the Defenders.
Yeah. Overall impression, not terrible. I will say, having it be 8 episodes made it much more bearable. I don't know if I could have done another 4 filler episodes.
Wouldn't you want another 90 episodes of this though? Isn't it so good? Doesn't it make you want to go more? I want to see somebody get kidnapped in a hospital and taken away, and I want to see the villain have a tragic history with their parents.
Yeah, I really I finished episode 8 and was pleasantly surprised the series was over. And I was like, wow, usually around episode 8 they actually capture the villain, have a gun to the villain's head, the bad guy's head, and then they're just Claire Temple usually runs in and be like, no, we don't kill people. We must call the police even though they've been corrupted in the previous 4 series.
And let's not shoot anybody's head off.
Yeah. Then they call the police and the police are corrupted, so he gets out.
Yeah, crazy how that happened in every single series.
It is indeed.
Well, let me tell you some information about the Defendies.
If you must.
Defendies was released on August 18th, 2017 on Netflix, now streaming on Disney+.
Yeah.
It stars Finn Jones, Mike Coulter, Charlie Cox, Kristen Ritter, Sigourney Weaver, Elodie Young, Jessica Henwick, and a surprising addition to the cast, Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, I didn't expect her to be in this one.
Yeah, if there was anybody I wouldn't have guessed to be in this, it was her. I really thought she wasn't going to be in it.
Yeah, I never thought she'd come back.
It's not like she's not Netflix's Phil Coulson.
Yeah, for real.
She's the great...
Also didn't die 3 times.
She's the Great Value brand Coulson, but instead of dying, she gets kidnapped.
Every time.
Oh, no. Instead of dying, she has sex with the hero.
Well, I mean, Coulson's been known to dampen the willy a few times.
I don't like that you called it that at all. All right, let me get more information here. Just like slide past that. This takes place a few months after Danny Rand fucked up New York.
Yeah.
After Danny Rand fucked around and found out.
I don't know. Maybe we'll get to this, but what happened to Danny Rand's like friend from what was Condom?
Yeah, he was busy.
Okay, so he just doesn't. He, at the end of that series, he's like, "Yeah, let's kill Danny Rand," and then just never shows up again.
No, he's in season 2.
There's no Defender season 2.
No, but there's an Iron Fist season 2.
Oh, Iron Fist! You spared me from that. That's right.
I've spared you so far.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
I know you need a little break from these shows, and I need a little break from talking about these shows.
Yeah, this is a dark time in the pod.
Don't worry, you're about to get into like the golden age of Marvel.
Yeah, we got some movies coming up.
Yeah, and some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh boy, another 22 hours worth of watching stuff.
No, it's like more like 20 and a half hours. And it's got Coulson.
Yeah.
And I think season 3 is when Yo-Yo comes in.
Yo-Yo Ma?
Not Yo-Yo Ma. He's not an Avenger.
The famous musician Yo-Yo Ma. I think he played the cello.
All right. So the episodes in this show, I literally couldn't figure out what they could possibly all have in combination. They're just stupid names. You got.
Well, why don't you read them off and we'll discuss?
Well, I was about to until you rudely interrupted me there. We got the H word, mean right hook, worst behavior, royal dragon, take shelter, ashes, fish in the jailhouse, the defenders.
They named these episodes off of something that happened during the episode.
My guess is that they threw a fucking bunch of little pieces of paper into a hat with different names for each episode, and every episode they pulled one out and went, we're gonna call it that. Except for the last one, they're like, we need one more name, and somebody looked at the poster for the show and they went, what if we name the last episode
what if we go with
the Defenders? Yes,
the Defenders.
So yeah,
or they're just like spare episode names from the previous 4 series.
Oh, these are just names we just didn't use. Let's use them now. Get them out of the way before we cancel everything.
Yeah, I think that's pretty. That's probably it. Because like H word sounds like something from like Jessica Jones, but like Hidden Dragon sounds like something from Iron Fist.
One of these is missing, AKA.
Yeah.
AKA Ashes.
Ashes.
Well, should we just start the slog? I mean, it's the same thing as Iron Fist. Nothing happens till episode 4.
Yeah, just slog through it real quick.
All right. Also, fun fact. This has like the least amount of connections that we've ever had to anything.
There weren't many,
which is
and
crazy.
I watched this pretty intently,
and it's pretty crazy because this connects all 4 of these fucking shows.
I know. I think their idea for connections in this were like, we got all 4 of them in there in Cleric Temple. Let's call it a day.
I think there is a reference though to Heroes for Hire between Danny Rand and Luke Cage, because in the comics, Danny Rand and Luke Cage, who's Power Man in the comics that you may not know, they're Heroes for Hire.
I can see that. Make a buck.
Yeah. Episode
Danny
1.
Rand doesn't seem like the take money type, but he prefers a cardboard box on the sidewalk.
I was gonna say he's a street guy. Yeah, he's for the streets.
Street people.
Episode 1. The H word. While hunting agents of the Hand in Cambodia, Danny Rand and Colleen Wing are told that the war they are fighting is actually taking place in New York City. There, Matt Murdock has given up his life as the vigilante Daredevil and is working as a pro bono lawyer, which he should have been doing in the first place, because honestly, that brings in a lot more money than being a Daredevil. He remains...
I'll let you finish and then I'll add something.
No, go ahead.
Throughout this whole series, I was kind of wishing we watched Daredevil season 2 first.
Hey, listen, You can't have it both ways. You either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself watch Daredevil season 2.
I think I'll die the hero at this point.
I mean, you're going to watch season 2 eventually, so don't worry. I know you probably had no idea who Elektra was, but that's okay. Because he remains conflicted due to his feelings for Elektra Nachios, who died fighting the Hand. Luke Cage, she died fighting the Hand in season 2, if we didn't gather that. Luke Cage, his name cleared by Murdoch's ex-partner, Foggy Nelson, returns from prison to the streets of Harlem, how did he get out of prison? It was pretty fucking easy. All he had to do was call up a lawyer and they said, "You're free, sir."
Pretty much.
Where police detective Misty Knight informs him of local kids who have been getting involved with a mysterious business and ending up dead after learning that all major organs are failing and she has little time to live. A woman informs her colleagues to speed up their plans and subsequently watches with a resurrected Nachios as a large earthquake tears through New York City. New York City has been getting ravaged for the last few years, and I think that's very unfair.
Yeah, previously, before she joined the Hand, she actually dug holes with her grandfather and then started a camp for troubled youth where they also dug holes.
Hey, was it called Holes by chance?
There was a documentary about it, yeah.
And a whole subplot about somebody bringing a donkey up to a river and making it drink water while singing?
Yeah, there was that subplot, yeah.
This earthquake is felt by Rand and Wing as they return, and private investigator Jessica Jones, as she discovers explosives while searching for a missing husband that an anonymous caller warned her to avoid.
Just these issues kind of find Jess Jones.
Jessica! Yeah, I mean, she's just drinking around and all of a sudden a little oopsie daisy falls in her lap.
Yeah, massive plot by the Hand falls into her lap.
I was gonna say, Jessica Jones makes the least sense to be here. Her only connection to this whole thing is that she fucked Luke Cage.
Pretty much. She didn't
also,
fight the Hand.
The other thing too is like Luke Cage has no right. Like this should just be a Danny Rand Daredevil team up.
Well, I mean, Luke Cage the villains in his season worked for the Hand.
That's true. No, but it should have just been Iron Fist, Daredevil, and Elektra Nachos.
Nacho Elektra, Daredevil.
That's Nacho Elektra. That's a zombified evil Elektra.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I have some fun facts for this. I do. I have one fun fact, in fact.
One's better than none.
When Luke Cage gets off the bus, this advertisement on the side is for the new Harlem Renaissance. This is the socio-economic reform initiative championed by Maria Dillard in season 1 of Luke Cage.
Yep, corrupt politician.
I mean, it is the MCU. They're all corrupt and or possibly Skrulls. JK, I don't know anything about that yet.
Whoopsies.
You won't find out about that for probably like 2 more years.
Oh, okay.
Episode 2, Mean Right Hook, Happy Left Hook. Jones calls the police, but Knight sees her taking some evidence as she leaves the scene. Cage follows some leads on local kids and finds them being sent to clean up a workshop where several enemies of the Hand have been murdered. Rand and Wing are also investigating the workshop, leading to a fight between Rand and Cage, which only ends when the police arrive. The mysterious woman Alexandra is informed that her group plans have been halted by a mythical wall. Alexandra believes this may actually be a door and interrogates an old enemy, Stick, for answers on this. Stick is back again, blind as fuck, tell a friend.
Friend. I think we should do a fun thing. When you read the name of the episode, we'll say which season or which series it corresponds with best.
Oh, okay.
Like this last one, I could say right hook, left hook. Probably Daredevil.
I mean, it really is just Mean Right Hook. I added the left hook part.
Okay.
But, yeah, it could either be Daredevil or what's-his-face? Iron Fister. When he fights the Howard, he gives him a Mean Right Hook.
Iron Fist and Luke Cage have a real dick measuring contest in this one here.
Yeah, heroes gotta fight. It's pretty cool. Jones is warned off her investigation by lawyer Jerry Hogarth, who later tells Nelson to keep any follow-up from Jones's actions away from their firm. Jones returns to her apartment to find the missing man, John Raymond. They are attacked by Nachos, but he kills himself first. Jones chases Nachos, but is caught and arrested by Knight. Murdoch soon arrives to serve as Jones's lawyer, having made an agreement with Nelson to carry out some of his extra work.
Yeah, that guy really left some brain spaghetti all over her walls.
Yeah, hey, sometimes you just gotta leave brain spaghetti everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I do like about this show is that, kind of unlike the Avengers, they actually let the side characters have a plot.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like the Avengers, like the only side character to show up in the Avengers was Pepper. Everyone else's like side characters, except for obviously Shield, were not in the movie. But here you got Foggy, you got Jerry Hogarth, you got Khalid Wing, you got Knight. They're all the Defenders.
Yeah, you kind of need the side characters in these shows.
Yeah, otherwise it would be a drag, even though it kind of is with them there. Let's see. Do I have any connections? Oh, fuck, I forgot connections from the last episode. Huh? No, that was the fun fact. You got to keep up here.
Well, you said there was like no connections.
Well, I lied. I missed them. I skipped them by accident.
Way to gaslight me.
The rooftop. Okay, this is from the last episode. The rooftop park where Alexandra and Madame Gao meet is the same place that Madame Gao met up with Wilson Fisk in season 1 of Daredevil.
They love that rooftop.
When Luke Cage is talking to Cole in his apartment, there's a poster for rapper Jidenna's song "Long Live the Chief." Jidenna performs that song in Cottonmouth's club in an episode of Luke Cage.
I remember that.
Yeah. And now for this episode, The Mean Right Hook, the fun fact, and I only have fun fact to double check there's no connection for any other episode besides The Defenders.
No connect.
The rare katana that Danny and Colleen find is called a Tsukamoto, which is a reference to Japanese film director Shinya Tsukamoto, who directed Tetsu, the Iron Man.
I'm familiar with it.
Are you? It's not the Iron Man, it's Tetsu's the Iron Man.
No, I'm not familiar at all.
I didn't think so. Episode 3, Worst Behavior.
This seems like a Jessica Jones title.
AKA Worst Behavior. Yeah, I see it. Months ago, the Hand acquired the ancient weapon Black Sky, the body of Nachos,
dun, dun, dun.
And used the last of their resources to resurrect her. Under Alexandra's tutelage, the Black Sky was prepared to fight as a weapon against the Hand's enemy. Now, Jones dismisses Murdoch's help, but he becomes interested in her case and begins investigating it himself. Cage tells his girlfriend, Claire Temple, about his fight with Randy, whom she knows. Temple arranges a meeting.
Old Randy.
Old Randy. She's like, oh, my old pal Randy, always making the wrong choice. I know that guy. His fist lights up.
Yeah, he makes choices like a 3-year-old.
He's got yeah, he does make choices like a 3-year-old with his shiny fist flashlight. Temple arranges a meeting between the two, hoping they can work together to fight the Hand. But they clash over their respective backgrounds, because Danny Rand is a rich white boy who's been crying for 2 seasons of shows, and Luke Cage has really worked hard to be where he is, and should honestly kick the shit out of Danny Rand, if I'm being honest with you.
Really should.
Inspired by some of Cage's comments, Rand decides to take a different approach and uses his corporate influence to find the Hand's new front. Literally the thing that Cage was getting pissed about, but that's cool. Midland Circle. Cage visits the mother of one of the local kids the Hand has hired, while Jones investigates Raymond's job. They also learn of a connection to Midland Circle. Cage arrives there to help Rand fight the Hand, soon followed by Jones and Murdoch. They are attacked by the Black Sky, but Rand drives her off. So they're kind of getting close to fucking finally teaming up, but I think we still got 2 more episodes till they're all in the same fucking room together.
I think it's 1, but yeah.
I just like, on a show called The Defenders, It should only take one episode to get the Defenders together, if I'm being perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, there's
Maybe 2. I would give them possibly 2. 4 episodes is too many. That's half the season.
You really could have packed, them finding their way to each other into one episode.
Or 2. Again, 2 episodes and they're like teamed up by the end of the second episode. Completely fine. But fucking 4 episodes? Come on. Oh, all right.
Yeah, I also don't know like why they're necessarily like why you really needed the Danny Rand and Luke Cage kind of argument.
It's because it's kind of cool because in the comic books they're BFFLs who fight together but get paid to do fight criming stuff because they're poor. So it's pretty cool to see them bash it out in a live action scenario.
I see. Okay.
But that's pretty much it, honestly.
All right. Continue.
My fun fact for worst behavior. When Jessica is being trailed by Matt Murdock, she passes a poster of comics legend Stan Lee.
Stan Lee sighting.
Stan Lee sighting right there, folks. When Elektra is in the weapon room, she pauses a moment in front of a pair of Sai. Sai are her weapon of choice in the comic. This episode has the longest cold open of any Marvel Netflix show episode. The titles don't start until 13 fucking minutes in.
I noticed that.
That's too long. Anything that's more than 7 minutes is too long.
Yeah. They go through all that and then all of a sudden you're like you're a third of the way done with the episode and then it starts playing the title.
There was an episode of Manifest. There was an episode of fucking Manifest, the dumbass NBC show, that had a commercial break during the cold open, and the title aired at 27 minutes in. 27 minutes in. That's half of the episode.
That's more than half. That's 2/3 of the episode. They're only 45 minutes long with 15 minutes of commercials.
So it might have been 27 minutes with it was like 8:27 or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still, that's ridiculous.
I was like, it showed the fucking title card, and I was like, "Am I high right now?" And then I hit the thing, and it said 27 minutes in, and I went, "What the fuck?
What's going on here?"
It's like I went through a portal and ended up halfway through the episode.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got for fun facts. So let's just chug along to episode 4, Royal Dragon, which I would probably call an Iron Fister episode. Do you like my dramatic readings? Is it doing it for you? Oh, fuck you. Rand, Cage, Jones, and Murdoch escape and hide in a nearby restaurant. With everyone introduced, because that's how we're going to introduce a team, is around a fucking restaurant that nobody else is in. Rand proposes that they work as a team to defeat the Hand, but Murdoch is unwilling to get involved, and Jones leaves. Stick escapes from the Hand and fights the group because he's an asshole, having already known Murdoch and known of Rand. He explains that a long time ago, the Elders of Condom came together to study the healing power of Chi, but 5 among them wished to use the power to live forever and were cast out. They became the 5 Fingers of the Hand, and include Alexandra, who has gone by many names through the centuries, Madame Gao, Sowande, who has been recruiting the Harlem Kids, Murakame, and the recently deceased Bakatu. Now, the Hand has defeated all that oppose them, except for Stick and the Iron Fister. Alexandra arrives and offers to spare New York if Rand leaves with her, since their plan requires the Iron Fister. But he rejects her offer, and Jones realizes that Raymond's family is still in danger and returns to help as the Black Sky attacks.
This is also where Danny Rand says, their plan is for them to turn you all against me, and then proceeds to fight them all.
Yes, because that's what you do. Let me just...
my way!
Guys, we can't fight! We can't fight! I'm gonna fucking fight you! I'm gonna fucking do it!
I'll do it again! Don't make me do it!
I do actually have a fun fact for this episode. Danny and Luke are sitting at the table talking. Danny points at Luke while using chopsticks. It is considered extremely rude to point at anybody with chopsticks. Danny Rand is a rude motherfucker, so...
Interesting.
You're also a rude motherfucker.
I pointed chopsticks at you over some sushi before.
Yes, and it hurts my feelings every time you do it. Have you noticed me cry?
I thought that was due to the spiciness of the sushi.
Yeah, that's probably true too. Episode 5.
Or you running out of sushi on your plate.
Yeah, that too. Episode 5, aka Take Shelter. As you can see, I'm calling this one a Jessica Jones episode.
I can see it.
The hand covered... no, sorry. I was trying to find a different voice, but I couldn't find it. The hand converges on the restaurant. And they were literally in a restaurant for one entire fucking episode, it seems. And Murdoch lures the Black Sky away from the fight. When he calls her Elektra, she flees, but not before preventing Murakami from killing Murdoch. Cage is able to kidnap Sawande while the others escape. After Sawande warns that their loved ones will be targeted next, they convince their friends to stay with Knight for the night at the police precinct until they are out of danger. See what I did there?
I see what you did.
While doing this, Wing is confronted by a resurrected Bakuto, who unsuccessfully attempts to recruit her to his cause after raising her as a member of the Hand before she met and joined with Randy. Murdoch decides to take up his Daredevil identity once again because this seems like the only reason it would be appropriate to ever be Daredevil.
Of course.
Something that concerns the leaders of the Hand due to his relationship with Nachos. Murakami questions Alexandra's reliance on the Black Sky to complete their goals and notes that they can all be killed now that their resources were used on Nachos. He suggests that they devise a new plan without Alexandra. Stick decapitates Sawande when he attempts to escape capture. Yeah,
Just a quick flick of the wrist.
gets a little. What's it called when you make small cuts in a carrot?
Chop? Filet? Serrate.
Serrated, that's what I'm looking for. He gets a little serrated. Serrated, man.
Serrated noggin.
Serrated nachos.
Well, nachos didn't serrate them.
Okay, I do have some fun facts here. This is the only episode to contain all 15 series regulars.
Checks out.
I'm glad you agree with that. Upon seeing Matt in costume for the first time, Jessica says, "Nice ears." This is a reference to the resemblance between Daredevil's horned cowl and Batman's, which has bat ears.
They're horns.
They are bat ears. He's Batman. He's a guy just he's Darebat. Daredevil.
Darebat.
Batdevil. All right, episode 6. Ashes, ashes. We all fall down. It's actually just called Ashes, Ashes, but I couldn't stop the song once it started.
Ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Now, realizing that the Hand wants the Iron Fister as a key to unlock something, the group decides to hide Randy away while they continue the fight. However, Randy disagrees and attacks the others. They stop him and tie him up, with Cage and Stick watching over him while Jones and Murdoch continue the investigation of Raymond. Nachos begins to regain memories of her previous life, but Alexandra insists that she is not the person anymore. Meanwhile, the other leaders of the Hand learn of Sawande's death and continue to lose faith in Alexandra's leadership. Murdoch and Jones learn that there is something beneath Midland Circle, a hole which Murdoch has come across previously when dealing with the Hand. They return to the group with plans of attacking the building to find Stick attempting to murder Randy to keep the Hand away from using him. Honestly, I think would have been a great choice. Should have stuck the landing on that one, Stick.
Yeah.
They are interrupted.
I think if they waited like 2 episodes to attack the Hand probably attacks itself.
So that's probably why it wasn't 13 episodes long.
Yeah.
They are interrupted by Nachos, who kills Stick and takes Randy. Alexandra gloats to the other leaders about this victory, but is murdered herself by Nachos, who claims leadership of the Hand.
Seems legit.
Seems pretty cray-cray. Do I have anything for this episode? I do have one thing. Matt Murdock plays the Defenders theme song on the piano.
Some would say Sigourney Weaver dug herself a hole with the hand.
Some would say Sigourney Weaver is in the movie Avatar.
Yes.
Some would say that. Some would say she plays a 14-year-old in Sigourney Weaver 2, in Avatar 2.
Huh.
Yeah. The more you know. TM.
I haven't seen Avatar 2 yet.
Huh?
I haven't seen Avatar 2 yet.
You lucky bastard. Episode 7. The Fish in the Jailhouse. Feels like a Luke Cage episode.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
Jones, Murdoch, and Cage wake up in the police precinct as suspects for the murderers of Wanda and...
You said precinct.
He's a widowy
Precinct.
He's a widowy hitting the Gwitty in the precinct as suspects for the murder of Wanda and Stick. They tell Knight about the hand, but try not to go into the details or let her get involved much, to the chagrin of her superiors. The remaining chagrin. Hey, listen, that's a hard word to read. The remaining fingers of the hand agree to finger Nacho. Oh, brother, that's not what I meant to say.
Which Defender series did you watch?
I think I watched the adult parody. The remaining fingers of the hand agree to let Nachos pursue her goals and hopes and dreams and become a real girl, hoping that she will grant them access to the substance they need to avoid death. Air. She takes Rand below the building to the mystical door they need him to open. Jones, Murdoch, and Cage escape the precinct and go to Midland Circle, where they are confronted by Gao, Bakuto, and Murakami. Wing soon arrives to help, bringing with her explosives that Raymond has been stockpiling. The group drives the fingers of the hand away. Knight and Temple arrive soon after, and Knight agrees to stall the police while she gets to Randy. Nachos tricks Randy into opening the door, causing a blast that knocks out power throughout the city. Randy awakens beneath the skeleton of a dragon. Why does Randy get the cool scene?
It's the last night of Misty's arm.
Yeah, that's true. In the comics, she doesn't have an arm.
Well, not anymore.
In the comics, she has a little robot thing that is pretty cool. Let's see. Did I have any fun facts for this episode? What is this called? Fish in a Jailhouse. I do have I have a connection.
Ooh.
The flashback scene in the cold opening takes place during the second season of Daredevil. You probably didn't know that.
I did not.
All right, thank God, the final episode of The Defenders. Gao explains to Rand that the substance that the hand uses for resurrection comes from the bones of the dragon, just as his Iron Fist abilities came from a dragon. The hand begins...
Is it the same dragon?
Same dragon as what?
That Danny Rand killed?
Oh, probably.
It's highly theorized.
It's highly alleged.
Highly alleged.
The hand begins harvesting the skeleton, which will weaken the foundation of the city and cause widespread destruction. Wing and Temple place the explosive so as to destroy the building once the others have escaped. They are confronted by Bakuto, who cuts off Knight's arm when she arrives to help. Wing. Oh, wait. This is a reference to Phase 2, where everybody gets their arms cut off.
I was gonna say...
Even though this happens in Phase 3, I'm gonna say it's a reference to Phase 2.
Yeah, it's all connected.
When Murdoch realizes that the explosives are about to go off, he gets the others to leave immediately, and his blind ass remains with Nachos. And the two are together, along with Gao and Murakami. As the building explodes around them, these events are all covered up by authorities. Randy, Jones, and Cage look to move on and protect the city. A battered Murdoch later wakes up in a room with a nun at his side. Bum bum bum, he's in heaven.
Bum, bum.
To be continued in Daredevil Season 3.
I was gonna say, is that like to be continued in Daredevil Season 3, or were they like planning to do a Defender Season 2? And then they're like, nah, this sucks.
No, they actually had only ever planned for Defenders to be of Season 1. And then Everything else, I think, has a season 2, except for Daredevil, which has 3. Oh, wait, Jessica Jones also has 3, I think. I have one more fun fact for you. Actually, three more fun facts for you, and then we could just quietly end this episode.
Quietly.
In Misty's room. Cold ending. It'll only be 20 minutes or whatever.
That's how we'll start extending our episodes. Just dead air for 20 minutes before you roll the end credits.
Hey, well, we do have a cold open, so why not a cold end?
Sure.
In Missy's room, there's a patient care board that says L. Carter and Dr. E. Wortham. This is references to Linda Carter and Dr. Elias Wortham. In the comics, Linda is one of the night nurses, and Wortham is the Spider-Man villain Cardiac. Also on the board are Dr. Tony Isabella and Arvell Jones, which are the names of Misty Knight's creators. A lot of references here. Another fun reference in this episode is Spider-Man is mentioned in the Wu-Tang Clan's song Protect Your Neck, which is featured in this episode. And Jessica sarcastically calls Randy Ironclad instead of Iron Fist. Ironclad is a Marvel villain and a member of the UFOs and way better than fucking Iron Fist.
I was just going to say, kind of bringing it back to Claire Temple. I think it's funny how, like, they were like, let's just destroy this building. And then, and she's like, no, we're not destroying a building. And then, like, 30 seconds later, she's like, okay, we can destroy a building.
If you want it, little Danny, we can do whatever you want, Randy.
We can destroy the building.
I think I might hate fucking Danny Rand more than anybody else in the MCU. I'm going to call that statement right here. I don't think there's a single person, including Betty Ross, that I hate more than Danny Rand.
Oh, that's a matchup for the ages right there.
But yeah, that is The Defenders. What everything you just watched for the last 7 weeks led up to it. Are you satisfied? Do you feel like it was all worth it?
Hardly.
Well, don't worry, because our next work up to a team up is going to be great, because it's the second to next episode. Because your homework for this week, Jake, is to study for your Defenders exam.
There can't possibly be 50 questions for any of these shows combined.
Each show will be its own category. Just kidding. It'll be the normal categories as usual, and to alleviate some of your pain, I will be including I Am Groot and WHIH.
Oh, thanks.
Throw you the old little bone there.
Maybe I'll rewatch those.
Yeah, so that was Marvel Cinematic University. Jake, you get studying for that exam. Everybody else, you can also study for the exam, because you can participate by watching the episode and then answering the questions to yourself in a room and saying, yay, I'm good at Marvel, or, well, I really need to watch more episodes of Marvel Cinematic University so I know what I'm talking about. And where can you find those episodes of Marvel Cinematic University? Well, I'm glad you asked, because you can get that on youtube.com. Under AJ Slabs, or search for Marvel Cinematic University. Either one will get you there. You can also find it on Spotify, Stitcher. Sorry, not Stitcher. Stitcher's going away. Apple Music, Amazon Music, anywhere you ever have listened to podcasts, probably. And
Probably.
Once you're enjoying those episodes, you're probably going to be like, wow, I really like that Alix guy and that Jake guy, and I want to get more of their content, and I want to follow them other places. And you could probably do that at a Twitter or a Thread or a TikTok or an Instagram. Definitely not a Facebook.
Definitely not.
And you can do that at AJ Slabs and Juicy Snake 12. You could also look for the podcast, because you're already following the host. You might as well follow the podcast you just spent 27 episodes listening to. So you could get that at MCU Pod 101 on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. And yeah, I think I've said everything. Oh yeah, don't forget, you've enjoyed so much of this by this point that you should just give us 5 stars and a good review.
Yeah. And maybe go back and rewatch episodes to study for the exam.
Yeah. If you're not watching it more than 20 times, and donating. Oh, you know what? I did forget. You've enjoyed so much of this, and you're already watching the episodes again. You might as well purchase some of that merch at our merch store. Link in bio, or link in whatever it's called. Details. You know where to look, because you've watched so many of these episodes. You've already read all those details. Jake, take us away.
Yeah, and in the comment section, just type "Hey Jake." That's all you need to do.
Don't
That's
do
all
that.
you need to do.